After the Valley of Origin regained its calm and the traces of the gray shadow vanished, Sami and his friends returned to the portal that brought them to this strange world. Despite the victory, Sami felt there was something incomplete, as if the gray shadow was just the beginning. The crystal tiger looked at Sami and said, "I know what happened in the valley was challenging, but you seem unsettled. Is something still bothering you?" Sami replied. The gray shadow spoke of being the result of an ancient mistake. If that's true, who created it? And how could it appear again? Here, the old guardian who had been silently watching intervened. What Sami says is true. The gray shadow was not created by itself. There is a deeper secret behind its existence, and a secret we must uncover before it returns with greater force. They decided to return to the Tower of Wisdom, the place where Sami's journey began, to search the old history books for the origin of the gray shadow and what future it might conceal. Upon their arrival, they found the tower quieter than usual, but this calm was accompanied by a strange feeling of anticipation. When they entered the library, ancient magical creatures known as the Guardians of Wisdom appeared before them. Their forms resembled ghosts, but glowed with a golden light. One of them said in a majestic voice, "You have returned, O bearer of the blue stone. We know what you seek, but the path you have chosen is fraught with danger." Sami asked bravely, "If you know what I am searching for, tell me the truth. What is the origin of the gray shadow?" One of the Guardians of Wisdom stepped forward and said, "Thousands of years ago, before the worlds existed in their current form, there was a supreme force known as the Absolute Core. This core contained both light and darkness, but was stable. However, a group of ancient beings tried to seize this core to turn it into a weapon. In their attempt, the core split into two parts, the blue stone representing light, and the entity known as the gray shadow representing distorted darkness." Sami was shocked and said, "So, the gray shadow was part of the original balance? Can it return to the absolute core?" The Guardian replied, "Yes. If the gray shadow regains its full power, it will seek to return to the absolute core. If it does, it will lead to the complete collapse of the worlds." While they were speaking, the tower shook suddenly, and a new message written in an ancient language appeared in the sky. The Guardians were barely able to translate it. The absolute core is in danger. The key to protection lies in the heart of the storm. The bird asked, "What is the heart of the storm?" The Guardian answered, "It is a place in the first world, the world from which all other worlds originated. But it is a place fraught with peril, where the forces of light and darkness eternally clash." There was no time for hesitation. The old Guardian opened a new portal and said to Sami, "This is your most dangerous journey yet. I cannot accompany you, but I trust you will be able to face what awaits you." Sami and his friends stepped through the portal, finding themselves in a world full of storms. The sky was a mix of blue and black, the winds carrying sparks of energy capable of tearing anything apart. "This is the heart of the storm," said the crystal tiger, trying to balance on the shifting ground. As they advanced towards the center of the storm, strange creatures appeared before them. These creatures were a mixture of light and darkness and possessed immense power. "If you wish to reach the absolute core, you must prove you are worthy," one of the Guardians shouted. A new battle began, but it was unlike any fight Sami had faced before. The creatures were not aiming to kill. They were testing Sami's strength and wisdom. "Do not rely on strength alone, Sami," the bird shouted. "You need to think differently." Sami realized these creatures represented balance itself. Instead of fighting, Sami began to converse with them, using his wisdom to convince them that he did not seek destruction, but rather to protect the absolute core. After a long dialogue, the creatures receded and said, "You have proven yourself worthy of this task. Proceed, but know the absolute core will also test you." At the heart of the storm, Sami found something he didn't expect. The absolute core was an enormous crystal glowing with both light and darkness simultaneously. But the crystal was fractured, leaking energy sparks. This is what the gray shadow is trying to reach, Sami murmured. Suddenly, a manifestation of the absolute core appeared before him. It was a transparent being, speaking in a calm yet deep voice. Sami, you now stand before your final choice. Either attempt to repair the absolute core and bear its consequences, or leave it as is, allowing the gray shadow a chance to return. Sami thought deeply. If he tried to repair the absolute core, he might risk losing everything, but if he didn't, the gray shadow would remain a constant threat. Taking a deep breath, he said, I will repair it. Balance is worth the sacrifice. Sami began using his energy, aided by the blue stone and all the power he had gained throughout his journey. The process was exhausting and hazardous, but Sami did not waver. Will Sami be able to repair the absolute core? Will the sacrifice he made be enough to protect the worlds forever?